Masasa norwadza ekuwanzira the fat guy wadandiwona ndichichema ndakagara nema sad guys. Mad lies are talked about me every single day. Violations, sticks and stones and hating every way. Yes, dizzy overweight, but these losers over hating. If you say I talk above your head's in the sand, man. Dreaming about the sand, man. You be dealt a bad hand. Wishing you was me, cause you wanna lead the band, man. They say I talk too much, cause I talk it, then I walk it. Shady characters, always creeping when I'm walking. They don't want me in the industry, they wanna keep it boring. They wanna keep you in the dark, they wanna see you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CWR Clash with Randall's podcast with your host, the JKD, and my co-host,
the DOC, the LOVE, the Doctor of Love, here today to give you the results and the summary and our grade for Payback.
Yes, that'll be.
Payback is A.
Yeah. So 2020 Payback, after 3 years, Payback makes his return, and I will give you full results on what's going on. Now, I will say I was impressed with WWE how short they had to come up with some of these matches, but some of these matches were like before SummerSlam. Some of the matches I'm kind of glad how short they came up with these matches, like the tag team title match. That was beyond crazy, but we'll get onto that as we go ahead talk about the kickoff show, the Riot Squad taking on the Iconics. Now,
Right.
This was a back and forth matchup with the Iconics gaining most of the advantage of the matchup, especially beating down Ruby Riot. Along with that, it led to the Iconics beating down Liv Morgan, saying that Ruby Riot was the one who knocked her down, making Liv question whether she should just walk off or just, help out Ruby. Which took a lot of mentality to go ahead and trust her best friend Ruby Riot to go through with the matchup, tagging her partner, and then make the match go back to a back and forth matchup until they hit the 2-on-1 faceburger and the Riot kick, which led to the Riot Squad winning. Which afterwards on the kickoff panel, they said this is only just the beginning. Only just the beginning. So
Now the storytelling in the match was very, very solid. The wrestling itself was kind of off a little bit, but the storytelling and the psychology of the match was A1. So I mean, like it was really, really good.
Okay, well, full result for me, I'm gonna give the matchup a B. I like this. Like to put a lot of storytelling to the matchup a little bit.
Right. That would move it up to a B for me also, the storytelling and the psychology of the match.
Full disclosure about this matchup for this rivalry, what's next for each of them. I'm assuming that Riot Squad's gonna go for the tag team titles next up, so I'm looking forward to see how far they're gonna go through. As far as the Iconics, as they've been talking about Peyton Royce being one of Vince's girls to push, I'm assuming that most likely when the draft comes up, they're kind of gonna be drafted apart. So I'm looking at one of them going to SmackDown at least, and one of them just stay on the brand. So that's what I had to say so far. For full disclosure on that match. Anything about that match? That's it.
Oh man, that's about all you can say on this match. But let's go on to the next one. As we powered through with two powerful wrestlers. One that pretty slick in the ring. We got Bobby Lashley challenging for the U.S. Championship with Apollo Crews holding.
Now, obviously, this was a solid back and forth matchup. Till obviously Lashley got the advantage over him. Hurt Business obviously being by Lashley's side, and also Lashley gets the advantage. With the Hurt Business being around. However, like it's not like MVP and Shelton Benjamin definitely just got involved. So
right, it was nice to see that they didn't get involved to show that Bobby is dominant.
Oh yeah, obviously Cruz hit some moves on him, some flash moves on him. Hit it with the low down, well, not the low down, but pretty much the low down. Then hit the frog splash on him, stuff like that. But it wasn't. But it just that it wasn't enough to get over Bobby Lashley. Which Lashley overpowered him with a full Lashley, let alone even cross his leg, put him on the ground with the full Lashley, which led to Cruz easily tapping him out, which led to for the three. I don't know. I guess you could call it a 5-second pose with the United States champion in the Hurt Business. But with that, the story didn't come until Apollo Crews attacked. Lash was saying that he's getting his title back. He's not done. He's not done with the title. So I already can see Clash of Champions, Lashley, Crews too. So looking to see how that go down. As my full grade on this one, I'm gonna give it a B minus on this one.
I'm gonna give it a A minus. I liked how both guys went at it with the mindset in this match. It was good wrestling. I don't think I seen any mistakes or anything like that. It's just nice to see two black wrestlers having a great match.
Oh, full disclosure, we're looking at another title match happening at Clash of Champions, pretty much.
Probably
As
so.
far as Crews getting a title back, probably not. But we'll see how it goes though.
Speaking of black, we got Big E going against what they used to call the Great White. That was a bad segment. Segue. Sheamus. All right. Now Sheamus, he had a little problem with Big E at the beginning, but he was able to slow the match down by attacking those powerful legs that he had. Big E messed up when he went for that apron splash and missed it. But like I said, Sheamus, he broke it down with the leg breaker, kept doing different kind of leg moves. He even pulled out the old edge leg submission hold, the education.
Or the clover leaf, as you say.
Yeah. Um, it just went got to a point where it went back and forth. Irish Curtis. Um, there was a counter to a spear, counter to a splash, which turned into an Alabama slam. So it was rough for Biggie for a minute until he made his big comeback, speared him off the apron. Like he really just went off those last with a flurry with those last 3 or 4 moves. Sheamus thought he had got the best of him, tried to hit him with the broad kick, but he got lifted for the power bomb and then the big ending for the finish. And so those two guys show that they have, for the big guys, they have pretty good chemistry with each other. And it was just nice to see two big men having a great match.
Yeah. We're later after the match, Biggie saying, preach to the people that I'm ready, man. He said he's ready. He's been ready. People doubted like, Corey Graves and others, he's proven that he's ready, which obviously to me, this match gives a minus on this one to me.
Okay, I would definitely give it an A minus also. This is one where you have a storyline where a guy's gonna go through pretty much the whole roster to prove his value to the brand.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see him through the upcoming months. This is a long storyline. He's not just gonna get a title shot right off the bat. You'll probably see him get a title shot near a Royal Rumble, whatever fast lane, whatever pay-per-view come between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, if not at WrestleMania.
Yeah. So final statement. As far as Big E goes, he has a long, long future for SmackDown. As far as Sheamus, I will say, man, I'll move him. Actually, I would keep him on SmackDown. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him being, but also it wouldn't hurt me if he moved to Raw either.
Yeah.
But as far as Sheamus, like I'll say really just moving to Raw, just like have more stars on Raw at least, bigger stars on Raw. As for Biggie, he got a long future ahead of him for SmackDown at least. I'll keep him on SmackDown. So with that, we'll move on to another SmackDown matchup. We'll see the King of Bros taking on the King of WWE so far, Matt Riddle taking on King Corbin. Now, this one,
it surprised me.
It was a solid, good matchup. Obviously, it was a real back and forth matchup. Truly, a back and forth matchup. Riddle hitting some of his like strikes, with Corbin hitting down his, power attacks and stuff like that. He's powering him down and stuff like that. Put him in a, with the original bro trying to put him in a sleeper and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Then they're truly going back and forth on this one.
It was real physical. Like a couple, several rear naked chokes.
Yeah, Corbin tried to put him down for a deep 6, man. Only to get a two count for that one. But obviously Riddle at the end hit him with a bro to sleep, hit him with a floating bro for a 3 count, which obviously Matt Riddle once again gets a win from the for well, at least for him. I mean, it's a good win, so it's about time. But
Yeah,
obviously, honestly, even though despite it was a physical matchup, I still give it a C. A C plus on this one.
I give it more of a B minus. I don't know, but it seemed like a pretty good match compared with Corbin usually does. So I gave him a B minus.
Yeah. However, full statement on this one. Obviously after the match, Corbin attacked Riddle, which means they're long. They're not.
Oh
They're
Lord.
they're a long way from being done. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm assuming this is gonna end all the way towards maybe Clash Champions.
I'm sure it's gonna be over with on one of the next two SmackDowns because, like I said, Clash of Champions usually have title matches. They might have one grudge match every now and then.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, no.
For the women's tag team championship match, which is our next matchup, we see the unlikeliest of duos, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, taking on the Golden Role Models. I see the Golden Role Models a little Hardy Boys gear on. I see them a little bit. But man, this match was like tit for tat.
It was.
A lot of people been saying, a lot of people obviously saying like, oh, they're gonna lose tag team titles, obviously. You
Well,
know,
I thought they were gonna keep them, and in the match it looked very much like they were gonna keep the
they weren't
title.
gonna keep. Them. I know that.
They weakened Jax down. Well, um,
Yeah, they
um,
pretty much weakened Nia Jax down, especially for a person who had a history of knee injuries and was gone for most of the
right.
2019. And then,
With Shayna Baszler, man, she cleaned house from the beginning. I mean, she was really like the MVP the match pretty much outside of Bailey and Banks doing a great job of cutting the ring in half, keeping the legal one, the legal woman fresh in the ring and stuff like that. Doing various moves. I mean, there were so many things that they did keep
to keep,
keep Jackson
yeah.
getting that tag in.
But obviously, they hit the
Great
backdrop.
tag team rather, excuse me.
Yeah, the Golden Ramos hit the backdrop on Jack. Which basically entered legally, attempting to put the Moodalot and officially and successfully put the Moodalot on Banks, and hit a careful clutch on Bailey at the same time, using
Right,
the boss's arm to her own advantage.
right.
With
To help choke out Bailey.
with that, the Queen of Spades forced out to tap out the SmackDown Women's Champion Bailey, which I knew who was going to take the fall, obviously. Resulting with Bailey, well, not Bailey, but well, pretty much Bailey and Banks lose the tag team champions, which Baszler and Jack, win the tag team titles. Which I actually give this match a C plus. It was a pretty good match. Not that great, but it was a pretty good match.
I give it I give it a C plus also. Good match. Very solid. Great ring psychology. Uh, Naya didn't do anything. She didn't do anything to float my boat. I mean, she was just there. She did do some good selling though. I will say she did sell. She worked the match. So I mean, you can't complain about that. And speaking of putting that work in, Keith Lee
But
was there to work tonight.
I didn't put my full statement on the match
Oh,
yet.
I apologize.
Okay. Well, for a person who saw Payback like 2 times, I had actually rewatched Payback just to get my full analyzation inside that. As far as my full statement goes, I see a long future for Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler as being the well, I told you when it comes to tag team division, man, unlikely as a duo is always win the tag team champions, at least most of them. Obviously, so I'm looking forward to how they go down. However, for the Golden Role Model side of things, obviously this match is another step towards a Bailey Sasha rivalry coming towards us at some point. Probably could be a Survivor Series, could be the Raw. Maybe I mean we don't know, but this is another step to see a Bailey Sasha. Now we see Sasha no belts. We don't see Bailey Uno straps now. You know, we're looking to see where I know everybody's anticipating for this match to finally happen now. Especially now that it's Thunderdome now. But as you were saying, you know, let's move on to one of the newest stars on the Raw brand, none other than the Limitless, Keith Lee, taking on Randy Orton, who's almost like a 20-year veteran.
I mean, it was great.
It was a quick match than I thought it was, to be honest.
Yeah,
'Cause
but it was great because it just showed it told the story it had to tell without making it last too long. And it was a surprise pretty much.
Yeah.
Cause like I was surprised that it happened like that. But Keith Lee did his usual stick with bouncing the other person around the ring if he's smaller than him. Bounce them all around the ring. Or Orton stops and like, hey man, you need to respect me. Put some respect on their name. Give them a few chops. Of course, Keith Lee hulks up and give him that Magnum on that Grizzly Magnum, which he didn't do it as hard. And I noticed that there's a couple moves that he didn't do as hard as he would do on NXT, but that's another story for another time. Um, Orton grabs him and gives him that back body drop right through the table, right up on the table, and then so when he holds back up, he goes and does it back to Orton. Orton does it, the methodical wrestling that he does, puts him in a headlock, the chokes, the things like that. And after that, they head outside. Keith Lee goes on the way back in and gets caught with a draping DDT. And Randy Orton milks the RKO for too long. Because when he goes for the RKO, Keith Lee swings him around, picks him up, and lifts him up in the air for the Spirit Powerbomb. And wins it right there with the 1, 2, and the 3. Which I couldn't believe it happened that fast.
Either way, this match gives a B plus in my book as a final grade.
Yeah, it gives a B plus. It would have got an A, but the shock value gives it a B plus.
But full statement though, yeah, it was a pretty shocking win. Even though like throughout the whole kickoff show, it seemed like they were pretty much down Keith Lee. Now with this could lead to Keith Lee having a good future, and I wouldn't mind seeing him be the next contender for the United States champion against the Hurt Business, maybe.
Right.
As far as Randy Orton goes, obviously he has continued his, hunt for the WWE Championship and to beat Drew McIntyre once again. So as far as that goes, we'll see how far this goes for Raw. This probably gonna lead up to another matchup, maybe. So as far as that goes, let's go ahead and move on to another Raw matchup as we get to see the Mysterios, Rey and Dominic, taking on Seth Rollins and Murphy. Now this one was obviously we consider as like the most best match of the night, really.
Yeah, this was the best match of the night by far.
Yeah, I mean it was a good tag team action. Cutting half the size of the ring. Had little tag team moves in it a little bit, man.
And Dominic, he came in there like a ball of fire. I mean, he was putting it on.
Hey, definitely a lot of Rollins, man, just hating on Mysterios a little bit, a little bit, also a little bit commentary about both teams talking smack to each other a little bit, getting over. But obviously this was truly a back and forth matchup, but it wasn't until towards the end. Obviously, they messed up tag team move, which led to Mysterio reversing to a Hurricane on Rollins and getting hit by Murphy's foot for the enziguri, leading up to Murphy getting hit by 619 by Dominic Mysterio, and Rey hitting a sliding,
sliding
sunset bomb,
sunset bomb
outside the ring, and
I like how Dominic threw his dad.
Yeah, sure, yeah, that was definitely the best of the night. But either way, speaking of Dominic, he got the, of course, from his Uncle Eddie, man, Frost slash with the 1-2-3, man, which led to the Mysterios finally getting their vengeance on Murphy and Rollins.
Which I'd give that match an A plus.
I would not get that much of an A plus, but I'll give it an A though.
I give it an A plus. Great match, great psychology, great technical wrestling, high flying, just unpredictable action.
Yeah. So full statement as far as Rey Mysterio. Well, obviously tonight on Raw it'll be Rey Mysterio taking on Seth Rollins. As far as we know about last night, we do know Rollins did walk out on Murphy after the matchup. Seemed pretty disappointed in the Disciple. So as far as that go, obviously I can see Rey Mysterio winning his match tonight with Murphy trying to help out his, Messiah, but fail at it. So I'm assuming there's gonna be a little bit of dispute going on between Rollins and Murphy. So let's see how they go for Monday Night Raw tonight, actually. And obviously, your favorite matchup of the night, the triple
Yeah, right.
threat no holds barred match for the WWE Universal Champion, as we get to see the Fiend Bray Wyatt defend the title against Braun Strowman and the returning Roman Reigns. Now, obviously, the match started with the Fiend making his entrance. Strowman attacks him, from behind, which led to a back and forth brawl going inside and outside the ring. All of a sudden, then then the Fiend pushed Strowman through a table, leading to Braun Strowman getting back up. They're going ham at each other, back and forth outside the ring,
Right.
attacking each other with steel steps, with a little mallet too, the
Why
Fiend's
hit him
mallet.
with the mallet, yo?
All of a sudden, it's like pretty much they're going through the same thing from SummerSlam. They taking each other back and forth up the stage. All of a sudden, the Fiend gets thrown towards like the Titantron. All of a sudden, Strowman puts the Fiend through the table, leading to another back and forth brawl, going towards the ring, which led to Strowman about to jump on the Fiend, which the Fiend reversed into a superplex, which you called it actually. Pretty much they broke the ring pretty much. And obviously with like what 15 seconds of like being, laying down the ring, that's
Some of
when.
these referee flops on falling out of the ring doing these ring breaks.
Well, actually, Charles Robinson kind of botched that fall. Like, I saw it.
He did.
He botched that
He kind
fall.
of threw himself over.
Yeah,
The funniest one was the Braun Strowman one though.
he's talking about John Cone.
Okay, but anyway, let's get on back to the match. My bad.
But obviously, Roman Reigns coming out with a steel chair, Paul Heyman with the contract, obviously signing the contract to say, yeah, I'm in for the triple threat match. All of a sudden, going for the pin on the Fiend twice. 1, 2, that's it. Then try to pin Strowman. 1, 2, that's it. And then beat the holy hell out of Strowman with the chair, leading to a 1, 2, which I thought was going to be a 3 a little bit. Thought Strowman kind of messed up a little bit, but got him. But didn't get him, though. Obviously, about to hit Fiend with the chair. All of a sudden, Fiend catches him with the mandible claw. Then low blow the Fiend, which was a smart move, actually.
It was.
And then hit Braun Strowman with a spear, getting the 1, 2, 3, become the new WWE Universal Champion. Which obviously the show ends with Roman Reigns holding the WWE Universal Champion and Paul Heyman making people wonder what is next for the Big Dog and Paul Heyman's team up, and what's going to be next for the Fiend and Braun Strowman.
Well, my thing is real quick. The match, because of the surprise and all that kind of stuff, it would have got an A from me or whatever if he hadn't showed up or something like that. And all of a sudden he shows up at the end, but it was dumb because you cannot sign a contract after the bell rings and the match has started. You don't sign contracts after a match starts. So that didn't make sense. You can't, not unless you got a money in the bank contract.
After looking through the match, I really didn't care. Because,
so it made it seem fake. It's wrestling. You sort of suspend belief, but, it just made it seem fake. So I'd rather for them to just went on head up, and then Roman Reigns be like, man, I'm not coming down to that ring, or be like, well, Roman Reigns at? And, Paul Heyman like, man, he'll be there.
Yeah. But then again,
and they think Paul Heyman a big liar, so they be thinking like Paul Heyman lying.
Well, despite what you think, man, we both knew what was gonna happen anyway. So either way, it still ended with Roman Reigns winning the matchup.
It did, and we knew that.
And we give the match, obviously. Well, I give the match a B- on this one actually.
Yeah, I give it a B-.
It
would have got higher except for that last part.
Yeah. Full disclosure, obviously we know Roman. We know the Fiend's gonna be going for Roman, obviously.
No. You know what I think they're gonna do?
No, that's what you think. Let me okay. Obviously at some point the Fiend's gonna go for the Universal title because he's gonna hunt down Roman Reigns, and then again he didn't even get pinned for his own title.
Wow.
So, however, I'm looking forward to see how they go down. However, I'm still questioning Retribution because we haven't seen Retribution for like none of the pay-per-view. So I'm surprised they didn't book Retribution at all, considering Retribution is another name for PayBack. So I'm surprised they didn't come out at all throughout the whole entire show. As for Braun Strowman, I know he's got to be eyeing for the Universal Champion. Go against Strowman. I mean Roman one more time at least. Rigging out the rivalry between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman because that was a pretty good rivalry after all. So some points this guy lead up to another matchup. Well, it might not be a triple threat, but it's gonna be a one-on-one, maybe with like the Fiend going after, probably the Fiend, Roman Reigns at Hell in a Cell, probably Strowman versus
That's what I'm
Roman
thinking.
at Clash of Champions, maybe. However, we don't know yet. However, we'll see how that goes down on SmackDown though.
And
So
please, if y'all put the Fiend in Hell in a Cell, please don't make it like the one he had with Rollins, where everything was red, and you had to have a tank to kill the Fiend,
well, I mean
and he still survived.
that's when the Fiend first came about. So I mean, it's how they made the Fiend invincible now. So I mean, if the Fiend was invincible, I'm pretty sure he could have took that low blow and still got Roman Reigns.
I don't know.
So
Jason kind of paused a little bit when he got kicked in the nads one time.
yeah, well,
He paused.
I don't know why we're talking about this, but along with Payback, we're gonna talk about the true winners and losers of Payback. Really, now obviously we know who the losers really were, and then we know who the winners were. At the actual show. But sometimes there are real winners and real losers.
Who we putting down? I mean, who we how many are we doing?
Oh, it's not all of it. We were just doing straight up five. As we
No,
know,
I'm just talking about like the according to the way they wrestle. According to the way they wrestle, I say one of my winners is Shayna Baszler.
uh,
She did a great job in her match. I mean, she looked perfect in everything that she did. Chris, good, just good match. And I like the way she won. It had her look powerful at the end. She's gonna win the Raw Ladies Championship.
oh, okay. Thank you. The real winner, one winner from tonight, well, from last night at least, was Keith Lee. Obviously shocking everybody with the win over Randy Orton, which showed that it was good the fact they let him win. Because obviously, if they let Randy Orton get over him just like that, then that sums up like what they were gonna do for his career. Despite the fact what fans think about his entrance music and his ring gear and all that stuff, Keith Lee shocked everybody around the world taking on Randy Orton, which shows that he's getting a huge monster push for the future of the Raw brand at least.
I say Big. I mean, Big E. Big E with his progression as a character, being one of the faces of SmackDown in the future. They're really getting ready to push him and set him up so he can be a face of the future, whether it be heel or face. Um, he's gonna dominate, and I'm looking for him to hold the Universal or WWE title for well over 6 months when he does get it.
Okay. Well, he said winner, so I'm going with one another a loser for me was actually Apollo Crews. Now the fact that he did lose against Bobby Lashley. One thing about Apollo Crews is that we knew walking into this match that Lashley was gonna full on Lashley on him. And like another thing Apollo Crews kind of have is like he's been on the Raw as United States champion. No, don't get me wrong, he's been a good United States champion. But the one thing Crews has an issue with is pulling off those big title matches. He don't really pull off that great the matches you see with like folks like Rollins and those matches with like AJ Styles and like Cena and he's still not there yet with the big title matches, which we all knew predictably that he was gonna get beaten by Lashley. So as far as that goes, that was a huge loss for him in general. The loss against Lashley and that in the match in general. So anybody you want to add to it?
Yeah, one of my losers for the night, and um, I'll say Braun Strowman. You know, he keeps taking these pins, and he's supposed to be the big man. And we always say he's getting more and more and more turned into that big show like stage of life. He's of his career, where he's a giant. He can throw people around. He can whoop people tail, and he's gonna win some matches. But the big matches, he's most of the time going to lose.
Mm.
So he's kind of getting into that stage in his career already, and he's young. He's not that old as far as career wise.
Okay, that's for Braun Strowman. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my other two big winners in because he actually already said them anyway before. Biggie and Shayna Baszler. Obviously, Biggie has proven to everybody that with the big win over Sheamus that he's gonna be a future world champion, along with Shayna Baszler handling that whole entire tag match. Nia Jax did put some good ones in, and along with the Golden Role model. That obviously she proved that she's gonna be making it, some point to the top of the ladder. Might not be the Raw Women's title, but to the SmackDown Women's title also maybe. Now, I might well go ahead and get to my loser because this is my last loser, and the last loser of the night is anybody who thinks that this Corbin and Riddle storyline is going to come to an end at Payback.
Oh God.
So obviously, most people came into this thinking Riddle and Corbin going to have ended the rivalry at Payback. It was kind of like a boring rivalry considering that Corbin didn't really do anything throughout the whole entire rivalry, and all he just did had other people like use like as the king's ransom and all that
I
stuff.
didn't mind it, but shoot,
But
it
yeah,
lasted too long.
a lot of people came in thinking like, oh, this is gonna be the ending of this whole rivalry, but instead Corbin attacked Matt Riddle saying it's a long shot from being done. So for that is a real loser, and those are the real winners that I believe are Payback, which are that. And with that actually sums up our Payback results. Obviously Payback was something. It wasn't that great, but it also wasn't that bad.
I think it was better than SummerSlam in my opinion.
I can't say the same, but either way, it was something. It was truly something. But if I had to say which one which one was it? I think it was better. I think it was pretty good. It wasn't a bad Payback. So it was. I think it was kind of better than the 2017 Payback, to be honest, a little bit. But
Oh yeah.
it was better than I expected though. There was a lot of things I wish that happened, but
Hey,
something I was kind of, but then again, there were some things I wish that didn't happen. But hey,
what do you expect from a pay-per-view that got thrown together in 1 week?
I'm actually kind of impressed the fact that
You know what I'm saying?
I'm actually kind of impressed with WWE coming up with those matches though. I will say this: they could have done a lot better with the women's tag. They could at least like did some of the women's tag title match, considering like it was like the week where like they were discovering that they're gonna have a triple brand battle royal for Bailey's title that they could have went ahead like said like, oh, it's gonna be Shayna and Nia going against them, something like that. Instead of like waiting
Yeah, way
like
back then. Yeah.
instead of doing like 6 days before the pay per view to go ahead and say, hey, like it's gonna be them two against the Golden Role models. But either way, Payback, pretty good matchup. I'm gonna let my co-host, the DLC LOVE, come bring you guys the end of it. So
Yeah, we're getting ready to leave. As you see, we're tired today. But hey, the DLC LOVE has nothing but love for you. So give us love. Subscribe, hit those likes, and give comments so you can be put into the drawing for our next prize. All right, with all the love in the world, we bid you a goodbye. See you.